I do not, believe it or not. I have to admit,
If I was generous, I'd give you one because I have many, but I'm not that generous.
in fact, I was looking at what appeared to be a bookshelf of iPads.
Full of these things, yes. It's, I ended up, and I have a stack about this big of the earlier ones. These are all iPad Pros, but and the earlier ones I get for free. People just give them to me because they get new ones, and I use them for slideshows because you can't really update them anymore. You can't even add an email on it anymore on the early ones. So, but I use them for. I'll do a slideshow or an animation, and then I'll put it in a frame and hang it on the wall.
Right.
So they come in handy for that, and you can still search the interweb and stuff on them. They're fine for that. But I think these days you'd probably need a new one to broadcast or use this service with.
Right.
And the ones I have, I get them on eBay. I only bought one new in my life, and I got one my dad's after he died. I got and the other ones I buy on eBay, and I used to be able to get them for about $200. Sometimes they would include the pencil, so it was a good deal, I think. Now they're really expensive.
They're
for
great
secondhand ones.
Oh, let's do that. I was gonna say, they're great for drawing.
They're great for drawing. Yeah. So let me get some more paper here for us to write on.
Oh, yeah. I was going to show you my little diary. It's just the first time I'd actually found something in the wild that
get it.
It's cute.
So far, no one has entered our room.
No one has dared enter the lair.
These are Jackknife safety pens. I just called them jackknives, but I've been corrected by the resident expert.
Oh dear. That's an awful lot to live up to.
That's an awful lot to live up to. So Todd Merrill found a lovely diary.
Nothing juicy in there. I think it's mostly like how much somebody paid for corn.
That's almost always what they are.
Yeah.
They never seem to have anything juicy. I do have somewhere in my collection one of those composition books with black and white speckled covers, and it was an artist was keeping a diary essentially, and it's the only time, with the exception of George Bernard Shaw that we were talking about earlier, where I saw in print, in writing, someone talking about fountain pens. And he had found an Esterbrook at a flea market. He was an artist on the Cape, and I was in Barnstable the other day and found this old Esterbrook, and I really love the way it writes and blah, blah, blah. He talked about that for about half a page about his pen, his new old pen. And I thought that was really quite interesting. The rest of the time, he talked about how no one understands his art. He also talked about how he was God's gift to womankind, and he would talk about his exploits, not quite like Don Giovanni might, or
Tristram Shandy.
or Tristram Shandy might. But anyway, it was just very funny. The George Bernard Shaw thing was in the library or the archives of Boston University. There's a letter by George Bernard Shaw written to some guy, and the only thing he talked about in this letter was the pens that he uses, because the guy evidently asked him, "Mr. Shaw, I love what pens do you use to write with?"
Oh, that's great.
And he wrote, I use this for swanky writing. I use this Waterman. He used a Swan. He had a Ford pen, not Henry Ford. He wrote
English.
He had a Ford pen, Waterman. The Swan I used for swanky writing. So it showed him, pressing down to get the shaded lines. But there were, and he said, these are all the pens I have right now on at my desk. I'm getting. He used the word degringolating. I'm degringolating, but not in any pain. So his health was failing. It was what degringolating means. But and then, thank you very much, fondly, George Bernard Shaw, and that's in the archives. You can see that. I think that's fascinating. But I've never seen any other example of someone talking about a pen. I mean, they mention a pen, maybe in a book. Grandpa wrote with a red duofold or whatever. They'll mention just in passing, but
Right.
that's it. There is one mention of the Simichrome, which is, of course, we love Simichrome, we pen people, and I saw that once mentioned by name in Bonfire of the Vanities, and it was the doorman was using Simichrome to polish the plaque on the hotel name on the wall.
Okay.
Outside the door, whatever, at the entrance. So I thought that was kind of neat. Anyway, tell me about these pens, Todd Merrill.
Oh God, well,
You're the expert.
Am I? Oh,
So
boy.
I'm going to grab this one and this one, and this is a student special, I think,
Oh, cool.
or DQ or something. No, Lucky Curve. What does it say?
Well,
George S. Parker.
A lot of Parker history is really murky because I've asked questions of the experts, like David Nishimura, and I think a guy named John Danza is a big Parker guy.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, I don't know. Like I was asking about their numbering system, because they went from 23 and 24, 24 and that sort of thing.
What the hell is wrong with these? They're all missing.
There's a part of a nib.
Part of a nib. Okay.
And then they dropped the 2, so it became like 3.5 or 3 and 4 or 4.5.
Uh-huh. And
I was like, hey, when did that happen? They're like, I don't know. So
no.
Nobody knows. And is it just that they changed the number on the butt on the bottom of the blind cap, or what? Or the in the case of an eyedropper, right?
One of the very first pens I bought from the company I now own was a large size, dual-fold size Parker jackknife, and
that's a big one too.
It had someone's initials scratched in the blind cap and on the cap, W something or other, and I thought that was kind of neat that he insisted on.
Yes.
Why are these not functional?
Well, I'm looking at so far.
Okay, you're. So why do you like these pens so much?
Well, I'll tell you. First, I just think they're incredibly underrated.
Okay.
And I just feel like if you like a duofold, but you want a flexible nib, and you want to have some variety in the sizing of them, then you've got your pen. That's
well, the duofold has 3 sizes at least: ladies, junior, and senior. These have more sizes than that.
Bazillion sizes, yeah.
So there is that, but I think there's enough size range to make almost anyone happy just using the duofolds. But these are there are varied. They have short, fat. They've got long, skinny. They have medium, skinny, medium, fat. So there is a lot of variety.
Well, they had the 20, and then the 22, I believe, right? Or no? Well,
I don't know.
The 20, the 23,
you're the
24,
expert.
the 25, the 26, and the 28. So that's what it is. So it's the 20, the 23, 24, 25, 26, and 28. So they had all of those different sizes.
And then they had the 8 would have been the size of a duofold, or are they bigger?
The 6 was a duofold.
6 was dual, so the 8 is even bigger than a duofold.
Right.
So I must have one of those here somewhere.
But you also had the long and the short, so you could have like the 23L or a 23S. So that's a huge number of sizes.
So is this a senior size? This one?
That's cool. It looks awfully close. It's hard to tell if it's exact.
Does it have a number on the side?
Good question. And they're deceptive. Like I've got a couple of 4s, and they're huge. They look, they're nice and chunky. What does that say on there? But that's part of what's nice about them. They're chunky.
There's one of
Oftentimes,
those.
yes, this is a 25.5, and it's a 25.5 short, which is kind of like a junior.
So here is, so screw that cap on, that black cap on this one. See if they're the same
Pretty.
size.
Not quite.
Yeah, this works. I don't know why this one doesn't screw in here. Is there something wrong with this? Is there something stuck in here?
That's one reason why they're so cool too. It's
Yeah,
just right there.
they are.
The washer
They're,
clip's amazing.
they are. It's the best clip ever made.
Correct.
I mean, it'd be interesting to you and I and maybe Friedrich to design the best, most perfect pen using, you know, we take the clip of Parker.
I know where this is going.
But I don't know where else is going. I mean, this is pretty, you know, the button system is pretty damn good, except you lose the fucking blank cap. Goes under the radiator.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Or something, you know.
Let me see if I can find this here. There is a perfect, sort of a perfect pen that I really want. That's hard to find. Here we go. It should work. Do your magic. There we go. Okay. So this is a perfect pen. It's what happens when a Duofold and a Waterman's 55 or 56 have a baby. It's so cool.
It is cool, but
it's. I mean, it's got the.
Yep.
I mean,
it's
like it solves the problem of the cap lip.
Yeah.
That Parker had with the Waterman's
with
approach, but it's got the beautiful washer clip.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does. It is a button filler.
It has a button.
So that may be a.
So here's
so cool. And they're cool, but they're not
a demo version. So the name Duofold comes from what?
My understanding is, and I'm going to get this slightly wrong, probably, but it has to. They're trying to give you the idea that it has so much value for money that it gives you like twice as many options or something.
Twice as many pennesses. The pennesses are doubled with the Duofold.
They could call it manifold, but we already had manifold as a word for nibs, right?
Manifold is, but I thought it had to do with the filling system. But that's not true because they had, and they could have. It's like, was it the 2-part pressure bar? Or was it that's what I thought it was from. But
yeah, I read it somewhere and I don't remember. That's part of the problem too. You've got to realize too, right, that where you read what and when it was from.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because like,
and who wrote it, who said it?
Right. Because it's like, oh, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
And
he
doesn't know what he's talking
right. It gets recycled, and then we've got collector lore that's like wrong for years until somebody discovers something is like, oh yeah, that's what is that famous book?
So Goro is in the room now. Wow, Pierre, show Todd my lucky curve. Can I show Todd my lucky curve? He wants to join us. And Friedrich might like a thoughtful. I thought Duofold was because of the. I have to move this down so I can see. The button filler failed its function as an eyedropper, a 2-fold filling system. That if the button failed, you had a 2-fold filling system, because you could use it as an eyedropper.
Right.
That's a sensible, logical guess, but I think we needed to have it written out in a ad or a patent.
Yeah, we need
description. We need something more than just
speculation.
One expert saying one thing and another expert saying another thing. But Duofold was also a kind of underwear, wasn't it?
Good question.
Duofold. I think it was a union suit. They were called Duofold. Maybe it was a brand name. Let me look that up. Duofold. Goro, would you like to join us live? Duofold. Duofold. Type. See, Duofold. LL Bean. See, they have a union suit that pops up under Duofold. Parker Duofold. What does Duofold mean? The size of a pen, which is twice the size of the majority pens on the market, says the Parker Duofold 1921.
So it's kind of the twice as much of a pen, twice the penness.
Or you might say twofold.
Right.
That's according to someone. Duofold long underwear. So there's a Duofold thermal underwear company. Look at that basket. That Duofold underwear company.
What a basket.
What a basket. Duofold clothing, Duofold men's thermal. So anyway, according to the first thing under the Parker was the size of the pen, which was twice the size of majority of pens on the market.
Do you suppose that Ella Fitzgerald was talking about that? A tisket, a tasket, bright yellow basket?
Or in... it could be, yes.
I jest.
Or worship the trousers that cling to him. I love that line.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
In Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered.
So, and it's like 20 minutes long, the song.
Yeah.
It just goes on.
Yeah. Have you ever heard Zebedee Colt's version of that song? Do you know who Zebedee Colt is?
No, I love the name, though.
He was...
It sounds like instant scat, doesn't it? Zebedee? Like
Zebedee Colt.
Zebedee, zippity doo-dah?
Zebedee Colt. I will play a song of him singing. Zebedee, Zebedy Colt.
This is a lovely name. It's not. It feels kind of delicate, sort of. But...
Here we go. Try this one.
It's great.
You big and strong. He'll come. I'll do the best to make him stay. So he was a Broadway singer, and this record came out in the 60s, maybe, and it was not a big hit. No one knew about it, but right. I have an LP of it, and they have the back of it has 4 pictures of Zebedee Colt, and they're sort of skinny. So you see sort of he's wearing a cowboy hat in one, and you see sort of half his face and half his torso. And there's another one where his profile is here looking down, and his hairy chest is here, and it looks like he's at a urinal taking a piss. And that's amazing. You don't see the junk or the pee or anything, but I thought, is he taking a leak?
Yeah, what is it?
And anyway, one of the songs
he's smoking a Lucky.
But he sings on this record, Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered, and it's just when he worships the trousers that cling to him. He does such a good job of saying that.
But I mean, it's kind of outrageous, right? For a man to be singing about another man.
It is,
right?
It is. And all of the songs he sings, I Met a Wonderful Guy. He sang the song Somewhere, A Place for Us from West Side Story. And it all makes sense for him, the songs that he's singing as a gay man talking about being in love with another man. It works perfectly for him. So you'll have to look him up.
Feeds don't get the love they deserve.
Feeds don't give, and a Lucky Curve feed. How is that
Well,
Lucky.
You know that.
I
Well,
know that, but we have audience members that
who
may
don't.
not know what the Lucky Curve
It's the thing that longtime pen restorers hate and
hate
break off.
and break off for,
They
and
don't
then
want to
they
deal with it, right?
and then they mark how they break. Old repairmen would mark the bottom of the feed with a cut like that to show that they've broken it off, so you can pull the nib and the feed out from the front. Otherwise, you have to pull it out from the back.
Right.
And what was the Lucky Curve for?
Well, it
What
was.
they say. And
Well,
I
they
know the answer
said,
to this
yeah.
one. I know the
It was
answer to this.
supposed to wick the ink. It was supposed to wick the ink back
Into the sack.
yeah,
Or the barrel.
or the barrel.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like, yeah. But when you think about it, right?
It's just another stupid gimmick.
It's a gimmick that didn't work. And,
It's like the automatic shut-off valve on,
all right.
The thermonuclear device that is. How can you add one more stupid thing
Onto the door?
onto a Doric? Fluted,
Right.
piston, see-through, adjustable nib,
Right.
roller clip. I know we can add one more thing. Let's add
Right.
the automatic shutoff valve, which requires a little L-shaped piece of metal and a little tiny spring. And what else does it have?
It's ridiculous. I've got one with everything on it,
Yeah.
because I figured it's like this is a Doric collection in one pen, So it's got the. Hey, Tina.
I only have a few Dorics in my collection, and one is, I think, the best one, and I'll show it to you in a second. But then I saw Andy Beliveau's black oversize
Ooh.
Doric with gold trim, and that one, I said, this is what they should. In black, it looks great. All of the marbles, it just confuses the issue of the flutedness of them. The flutes are lovely,
Mm-hmm.
and black.
And I was going to say about the Lucky Curve, it's like, if you think about it for just a second there, right? How could it work? Because if it's supposed to work in both conditions of having a sack and not having a sack,
Yeah.
it's going to be too close to the. It's going to be touching the sack instead of just.
Well, it's supposed to. It's supposed to touch the barrel or the sack.
It's supposed to be really close.
No, it's supposed to. I think it's supposed to touch to be capillary actionable, to be able to get the drop in. Because the drop isn't going to jump off the feed.
No. But I'm saying if it's literally touching, it has nowhere to go. There's no capillary. It needs to have a tiny little, like the slit in the nib.
I don't know if that's true. We'll have to talk about that. We're just going to have to duke that out.
Are we?
Where is my? Maybe I have maybe it's in my.
This is a lovely nib.
Maybe I need it in my. Maybe it's in with my pen and pencil sets. Or maybe it's in a box, a Doric box. Is that why I can't find it in my...
That could very well be. Have you noticed how many wall pens from the 20s have boxes?
This is the one that
That's
I like.
great. And that's my favorite cap band of theirs.
It's the one which works as a cap band. The other ones don't.
Right, and it just looks the best too.
But look at this one. This is a set that I got once upon a time, and look at the pencil.
That is
it has a picture of a little boy in it, and
it's amazing.
And someone told me that they did this when the boy dies. It's a picture of a dead child, and I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what someone told me.
Well, it seems like something that would have been done.
But this one, the lever fill, is the good one. The idea that you have to see through how much ink you've got is stupid.
Well, it's full of gimmicks, but it's fascinating.
Okay, let's see who's here. Let's see who is here. Okay, Friedrich said the blind cap seals off the button. That's like the eyedropper. Right. And the stupid Doric shut off. Looking at them, thanks. Being consistently in contact with the acid ink. Yep. It's just gimmicky as Swan and Onoto's wire twist behind the feet.
Oh, right.
Okay. Cameos on pens were popular, says Friedrich. Well, Friedrich has told me a lot of things. One, I have a gutta percha hard rubber watch chain,
Mhm.
and he said that was for mourning.
Right.
And I didn't know that before, but I've got a couple of gutta perchas.
It's such a specific thing, and they use it for making molds and stuff in your teeth, of your teeth.
Yeah. Okay, I'm adding.
Or actually, they use it for temporary fillings
Okay.
for root canals.
Make your food taste funny until they put a real one in.
Right. Pulpectomies.
Paste. So GoRo is going to join us.
Groovy. You've got to try this pen out.
I will.
It's lovely.
But is the blind cap watertight?
It's supposed to be.
This is. I mean, I would think it could be, but like anything that is threaded, the threads will eventually wear down, and you'll be. So this is the size of a dual fold junior, I presume.
It looks,
but it seems a little. It feels fatter than a junior, but it's a lovely.
They're chubby. The juniors are chubby. They're great. The only drawback I think with them, and actually I like them more, quite honestly, than
the senior.
The senior. I find the senior just really massive.
Yeah, I really like the junior size.
Yeah, I do too.
And I like the shortness of it. They do make the dual fold special, which is the length of a senior. And I've got one of those kicking around.
The only drawback of the special is that you don't end up with a flexible nib, unless you get really, really lucky. Because those are pretty much non-existent. But that's I mean, for me, like my first pen, on purpose, was a dual fold junior, because I'd gone through all of my old magazines, my Life magazine, not my Life magazines, my National Geographics. And Saturday Evening Posts. And the two pens that I really, really had to get were a dual fold and a Waterman's something. A Ripple, of course. And I did get one in the 80s, but I never got it fixed. I never got it restored.
None of these have nibs. What the heck is wrong with me?
Yeah, what is going on? That's crazy. And that's like the whole point of this.
Well, I mean, we have enough that we can do it. I mean, I did have, when I bought this company, there were hundreds and hundreds of dual fold or jackknife barrels and caps with price stickers still on them. I sold them all at an auction to Jeff Berliner and David Nishimura. Were they just, rather than bidding against each other, they bid together and they split the lot. But there must have been, I don't know, 75 that were none with nibs, but the barrels were all good. So
yeah, I just think they're great. I mean, it's a nice size.
Okay. Let me just. Why isn't this not functioning? I don't.
Give me a sec. I'm just trying to figure out like my camera blocking.
So GoRo is now live with us, and
ahoy!
Hey, Todd.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Yeah, I'm glad.
And he wants to show you his lucky curve.
Yeah. So this, I have two Parker dual folds technically. One's the Lady Lucky Curve. It's this one. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, it's plastic, right? Or not?
I believe it's plastic. It's not rubber.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like rubber. It's too hard to be rubber.
Yeah, it's got the two cap bands, that's 1928 when that came out.
Okay, yeah, and then it has this beautiful lady.
There you go.
Which give me a sec. It's going to be. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry on how bad I am with this.
There's a way where in your settings of your camera, you can say you want to have it mirror image or something where you can where you where you move your hand this way and your hand goes that way rather than going the other way.
Let me see.
But
Oh,
I get a few.
there we go. I stopped mirroring.
Okay, good. I don't think it changed on my end, but at least you get to see what you're doing.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. So Todd, can you see this?
Yes.
I know the iPad is about an inch below our eyeballs, so we have to sort of everything is. So remember what I told you to do? Go row.
Yeah, I
You
have to bring
hold
it.
a piece of paper.
Yep.
Next to the pen, with it, and the piece of paper has to have writing on it.
Oh, wait. Okay. Give me one second.
Make a big X, and then that way the camera will focus on the X and accidentally along with your pen.
Accidentally.
Accidentally to your pen. I was typing an argument to someone this morning on PragerU. He was telling me how America is a Christian based on it's a Christian based nation. No,
No.
no,
No.
no. For one thing, it has they're things that America borrowed from everyone, including Greece and the Bible. And the Bible was just plagiarized from Sumerian texts anyway.
What do you think of Greek revival architecture is about, right?
And I said, well, what would you do? Would you make it illegal for gay people to exist or to adopt children that were brought into this world by careless and uncaring heterosexuals?
Careless heteros.
And would you allow, I mean, a lot of people on that thing say that I shouldn't be allowed anywhere near a child because why?
Right.
I'm not interested in children.
Oh, that's kind
of
of
any kind.
That's kind of
for
like
any reason.
That's kind of like talking louder when you find out somebody's blind.
Yes.
Right. That's you're gay. You must be into kids. What?
Yes.
No.
How does
and anyway, I just said, would you allow me, a gay person, to visit their niece and nephew? And then they also will say, when they show a picture of a child with a drag queen performing in front of a child,
there we go.
that they say that the parents should be in jail for allowing that to happen. So now they want okay, so you take a look. It's
very nice.
In focus. It's so the nib says Lucky Curve on it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, yeah.
Hey, it looks pretty flexible to me.
Yeah, it's quite. Let me show you actually.
Nice.
So it's like a stub flex. So
Okay.
this is about me with very light pressure, and then it runs.
Look at that.
That's wonderful.
And when I bought this, this was actually my first true flex. I guess I call this a semi flex because it goes from like a broad to about a double broad, or about a triple broad. So this is my first semi flex. I'd say
you could make posters for the next No Kings March. Of course, you'd have to get Soros to pay you, because these people
you people
say that George Soros is paying the demonstrators. I haven't gotten a single nickel. I can protest all by myself without anyone paying me one thin dime. I can come up with a No Kings poster all by myself. You know who pays for people to hold? Someone said all the signs look alike. They must be provided. Well, look at the next time Trump has a rally, and it's exactly the same sign that they're all holding up together.
Yep.
So anyway.
Also, Todd, or Pierre and Todd, I guess. So I bought this duofold
Okay.
from a Todd in Valhalla in upstate New York.
Okay.
So it's not someone you guys know, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't know, but
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. Yeah.
I just wanted
yeah.
to show you something too, because
okay.
we were on this topic
I-
of
I-
duofolds with flexible nibs.
I can put this back so you can set that down.
Yeah, whatever.
We can still play with these if you
Oh, we
want to,
should,
but-
and that's in fact what this is about. I was just, in fact,
But so many of them
yesterday.
don't have nibs, so why bother to
Or-
keep looking for ones that don't have nibs? So.
That's true. But and I hope this looks like something here. But this is fun. That's a Lady Duofold, and it's got the fancy band on it.
And it's black.
It's
Or
actually blue. It's just really,
it's blue.
really
It's just my
dark
my
and-
one photon doesn't know how to. And what is the inscription on this one?
should say Lady Duofold.
No, I meant on the band. The
the band?
engraving.
I don't know.
Their initials.
Oh.
Something E.
Something E. But this just has a really nice flexible nib too, which is great because you don't really see duofolds with flexible nib. I don't know if this one says Lucky Curve or not.
Well, there's a loop.
Yes.
Todd, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Since you're a bit more familiar with these, do you have to shellac the piece, like the piece that inserts into the body of the pen after you've put on your
What, the feed?
like your sack? No,
no.
not the feed, but like that edge that isn't around the feed. Like so you have the grip, then you have this
Oh, the
small
part that-
area, and then you have the feed.
Then you have.
So I'm talking about this
So
part.
you don't have to show. Well, you certainly don't do it on a. You shouldn't have to do that. I mean, sometimes you shellac the section into the barrel.
Okay.
I've seen
Well,
that.
yeah.
But you don't have to do that with a dual fold at all.
In fact, the only time you really need to shellac the
Section
section into the barrel is if it's loose.
if it's loose, yeah.
And even then, you just put like 4 little dots, like do like that, and then you just put it in, and it'll work.
It's if what I do when I have a loose thing is I just take a little piece of paper or a little piece of tape
Mm-hmm.
and add that extra tiny bit of
Sometimes
thickness.
it's too much.
Sometimes it's too much, and you crack the
Which
barrel.
you don't want to do.
You don't want to do. But so you start small, and then you make it bigger and bigger and bigger until it's tight, but doesn't crack the pen.
Okay.
But you shouldn't, unless it's really, really loose. You shouldn't do it at all. Use the tape method or the piece of paper method instead to keep a loose something tight. But you shouldn't have to do it with the dual fold at all because they're threaded. I mean, sometimes the threads can go bad.
The other thing is, with the thing with the shellac though, that's nice is that you can just heat it up. So you have a heat gun. So if you're worried, oh my God, it's shellac in there, it's not a big deal because the shellac will melt when you get it warmed up. So it'll just come right out.
I know a blow dryer, a hair blow dryer is a bit.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah, and the other thing is, there's another way to make a loose section fit, and I have not done it this way, but if it's hard rubber, you can carefully take the end of the barrel, and then make like a little 3 tripod with your fingers, and then kind of squeeze it.
Because that'll deform it from.
So it deforms a little bit, but I'm not as crazy about that. I like the idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You're also fucking up the threading of the cap.
You'd think that you
too.
might,
You would
if you're not careful, right?
I mean, the thing is, I do sometimes have a pen whose cap threads where the cap doesn't screw on anymore because the threads are gone. Sometimes what I'll do is if it's a dual fold or really any pen that I can take like a Skyline or a dual fold where I can just file a little bit of this off. Todd Merrill, are you watching one?
Okay, I see.
A little bit of the
I'm
inner cap
distracted.
off. where you're making it just a little bit shorter,
Mm-hmm.
so it does, so it will so the threads will engage a little bit.
Right.
And okay, so I'm going to go to Pen Repair Man Hill for doing something like that, but otherwise the cap will fall off or the ink will dry out. So you might as well make it workable.
See, this is absolutely charming. I think they're adorable. The curved aspect of the cap here,
Yeah.
it looks adorable. It's like a rumble seat. It's very cute, but it's prone to cracking.
Yeah.
So when you post these, you
be
shouldn't
careful.
post them at all, but
Be very careful.
be careful. Yeah.
But you want to have them stuck so they don't fall off
Right.
when you're writing and they go under the wheels of a bus when you're taking notes on the side of the street. You're doing your crossword puzzle at the bus stop. You don't want to have the cap roll off into the street.
It's just remarkable how this makes you write smaller. Because it's so fine.
It's demanding that of you.
Tiny. But it really is true.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. What's your normal handwriting like? Like what is it like when Pierre writes a grocery list?
My handwriting, I normally print because I can't read my own handwriting. And I would say I need milk, cereal, Target, go to Target. I'll print caps almost all the time. If I'm writing my email address for someone I'll use lowercase, and
which is appropriate.
I'm lazy with that. If I'm writing in script and writing a note that I have to read later, good luck with that, Pierre.
Well, it's so odd because I've seen that where I'll see something that you've written hastily, and I'll be like, "What the heck is that?"
People pay you to do wedding invitations,
and then you do something quite lovely, and then it's like, oh.
And even my wedding invitations are pretty lazy. This is how I'll pretend that I'm inviting someone to a wedding. So let me get Dr. C's. This is one of his dip pen nibs.
Yes.
That he didn't want to buy, but this is what I might use. So, Mr. and Mrs. Gorow. Mr. and Mrs. Gorow. Your boat. 125 Western Earn Avenue. They pay me for the capital letters. They don't pay me for the spelling. So I'm pretty.
They don't pay you for the row your boat, but they pay you for the go row.
They pay me for the g.
The g, right?
And
the
o-row. The o-row. I'm giving that for free, and that's why it looks so shitty. so last night, Gorow, we and listeners, we were playing trivia. And I illustrate the questions on my iPad, and they are projected on a big screen at the bar so people can see how talented and clever I am. And I usually try to be funny in the illustrations. And so last night, there's one question they have each at the people that do the trivia, whatever it's called, whatever company they are. One of their questions, and it's usually the first question of the third round, the third of 4 rounds, and it's a spelling question. So one time it was spell correctly the word tourniquet and spell correctly the word whatever. And last night's word was what? Do you remember? Guillotine. So this is what I drew. I drew a guillotine with the sharp edge. Well, actually, I guess I had it down. And then I had, the part where the body is. So it was a big G was
You're guillotining me.
in the basket, and then there's then it was question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. But anyway, the big G was what, and I had a big red arrow showing that it had fallen off. So that was my illustration for that.
Pierre, I hope that was the G for guillotine and not G for Goro.
It was not a G for Goro. It was for that. So
Oh, that's funny.
this is a nice nib. Did you try this one?
I didn't.
It's stub.
It looks moppy.
Well, I
Or
dipped
somewhat
it, so it might be moppy because of that.
Uh-huh.
So Goro, if you were here,
Stubby.
I would try to teach you not
Have to write like a human being.
not to press down so much.
I'm telling you, I don't press down that hard. I'm blaming it. You know what? I'm gonna change the ink out on my Waterman 12. I'm gonna prove it to you.
Okay, and you also might need paper that is less like a paper towel.
A Kleenex. Right.
I know what I can use. I have a writing pad.
Actually, a paper that used to be good, I don't think they're very good anymore, was check paper.
Check paper.
Huh. You know what's surprisingly not bad is Post-it notes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, actually, they're
not
pretty good.
but they're pretty good. I was shocked.
I'm going to go grab a piece of paper at my drawing desk. I used to buy what company is it? I can't think of it right now, but it was an art supply company, paper company.
Paper.
It wasn't Blick, but it was it's two name, like Barnes and Noble. It was B and something, B name and N name, I think. And it was, they made vellum paper, ink friendly, no bleeding, no nothing. And I loved that paper because I could do, when I was doing illustration work in fountain pens, it would never, ever, ever bleed. And then I ran out and I needed to buy some more. And I got home and wrote on it, and it bled. Even though it said bleed proof, but they changed the recipe on me.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the illustration on the cover of the tablet had changed. I mean, the illustration was the same rather, but the purple ink that they used was slightly less bright. So I went back to the store and I bought every single tablet that still had the bright purple because I knew paper was good.
Yeah.
And I saved every scrap of that paper because they were the new ones they were making were shitty.
Yeah, what a shame.
But I'll show you what I'm trying to get the blood back into my system here. I'll be right.
It is shameful when they do that. It's like finding a shampoo that you really like, and then
they change it on you. Yeah,
and they stop making it. And you're like, what am I going to do? It's always like personal care products and paper.
Paper is the hardest one. I've been using the Southward is it Southward? I don't even know what
Southworth.
Yeah, the Southworth for
right.
Probably the past 3 years. It works well with the typewriter. If I sometimes want to break out a bit of watercolor, it can take it for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good for utility, I'd say. With the flexible nibs, I do get scared sometimes if I write a bit too quickly or something that it might snag. So I try to be as delicate as possible with it.
It's a little textured.
Yeah.
Here's the company, Borden and Riley was the name of the company that made the paper. But let me see if I can find the actual tablet. This is not the...
Yeah, I was going to say pretty much any Japanese paper is amazing. I use the Maruman Numasani notebooks because they stay open. Because they
sorry, keep going.
They're wonderful. They're great. I mean, it's really silky, very smooth. Almost as good as Tomoe River, but it's thick and soft instead of being thin and crinkly.
So That's the one thing that I'm like concerned about Tomoe is the fact that on how thin it is, and I had the tendency of folding like paper like nothing else tomorrow. I just kind of shove it into my notebook and
Yeah.
then run.
These are great for that. The Marin, if you want, I can actually. I've got one over there. I can show you what they look like. And what's cool about them is that they have a I don't know what it's like a soft vinyl cover. So like if you spill something on it or like ink or something,
Oh
wipe
yeah.
it right off and it's no problem. They're just great, and they have like a spiral thing, so they lie flat. I'm gonna grab one just to show you.
Oh yeah, sure.
Let's see.
I'm about to get angry.
Here is
Oh, saved.
I love it. Here's a video about jackknife safeties, and then out comes the paper.
here is here is this company's Borden and Riley bleed proof paper for pens. This is what it used to be like. So Todd Merrill, try
It looks
writing
like,
on
That looks absolutely beautiful.
it looks almost like thinner Bristol or something.
It's like Bristol
Wait,
plate finish. So
Here,
so
where'd you say you found this? Well, I know like they don't have the same like formula, but where did you find this paper?
this Borden and Riley, it was at Artists and Craftsmen Supply here in Cambridge.
Okay.
But you should be able to. They make other papers as well,
Okay.
and maybe they fixed their paper. But so make a nice swooshy, fully shaded line. It's like Todd Merrill.
I can't do it big. I can't do big ones. I can do only small ones. I don't have the whole arm thing.
You don't have the whole arm thing going.
Arm thing going yet. I can't.
I've never understood the whole arm writing technique. I've tried watching videos on.
Well,
And,
this is
if
why.
I don't have a pen, I can do it. I can do that.
This is
You know what I mean?
what happened. Why whole arm is rather than just doing this with your fingers is you end up your lines tip over. You know, if you're writing a long line and you're not moving your hand every word, your letters will start tipping over. You know, don't you find that, Todd?
Oh, you have to kind of you have to keep.
Yeah, so you have to
moving,
keep moving your hand.
Right.
So, but the whole arm movement is, you know, your hand is the lines won't tip over because your hand is moving. Your hand is the thing that's moving, not your fingers.
So you can also make big stuff.
Okay, so here's this paper. Do we see any bleeding?
Mhm.
Let's
No, not. That's
no
absolutely.
bleeding. So now let's try the new tablet of paper for pens, bleed proof.
Have you guys do you guys have a Daiso in your area? I think there should be a Daiso in Boston.
A Dyson. What?
A Daiso, Daiso. So it's a Japanese dollar store, and some of their paper products have Maruman. Yeah, Maruman.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
Maybe
that is good.
Maybe they fixed it.
Maybe they did because it seems pretty good.
This does seem good, but there was a time when maybe this is maybe they fixed it
I can only hope.
because
That's great because it's good. That is nice.
well, see if you can find it anyway. Borden and Riley. They used to have a store in Cambridge, but they sold it. But in my building, there was a company.
Borden
and Riley. Borden and Riley. Bleed proof paper for pens. I'm sure you can find it online. Anyway, in my building, there was a company that had offices here. At some point, they went out of business. And in the recycling room were boxes and boxes and boxes of check paper that they never used. So you had the check and then the duplicate, and then there were 3 pieces of paper per check. One was for the customer, one was for their accounting, and there was a third for some other reason. And the first 2 were, and this is what each page looked like. So it was this was for the this had their check printed on it. So that was the document, original document.
Right.
And then the rest was for something else. But this paper is perfect. And I have stacks of this because it didn't bleed. And so when I was doing it, if I'd have to
You're right.
write something for calligraphy or something, I would use this paper. So check paper used to be good. Now it sucks.
Yeah,
And this doesn't even look terribly old, you know, just, I mean,
I mean, let's try this. Pure Gustafson.
I've tried using I've tried signing checks with a fountain, and the ink goes everywhere.
GoRo $1 billion or whatever.
Oh, I'm a very well.
It'll bounce all over the place.
Ping
but
pong ball?
Maybe this is not bleeding.
see, you're ending up with better paper than you thought.
Well, there's a little bit of feathering here, something going on.
Anyway, that's the, just if you're wondering, that's the Maruman notebook. So it's just great paper.
And I like the fact that the lines are thin, almost invisible. You know, you see some sketch some note paper where the lines are huge, are big and fat and ugly.
And the thing is, it does that, which is great. It lies flat.
It lies flat,
which is
yeah.
beautiful, because a lot of them don't.
No.
You know, they're bound, and it's so annoying having to keep pushing your paper down
Yeah.
when you're writing. You know.
No.
So that's one thing I really like about this stuff.
So, anyways, let's see GoRo. Let's see your fine.
I don't know.
Your fine writing with your number 12. Let's
How fine can you make it?
How many lines can you fit? Line space, line space, line space in 1 inch of
In 1 inch.
in 1 inch. This big. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have a pen. It's the Scalpel one that
It's crazy.
that I do you know which one I'm talking about? GoRo?
Isn't it?
No.
Ted Clausen
yeah,
said, "Oh."
Yes. So let me play you Ted Clausen's reaction to the pen I let him try. Pierre Gustafson. If you look under my TED Talks, because my friend's name is Ted, so I call the playlist TED Talks.
It's hilarious.
And Ted is a calligrapher friend of mine who is able to try a pen and say, "Oh my God, this is an old lady who shuffles across the room, but she has very good breeding," or this is a middle-aged man who's an alcoholic. He'll just, but listen to him.
God, I feel like there's only one thing that you could possibly do with this pen nib, and that's perform the most delicate surgery on the brain of an infant. Oh God, it's just like you're gonna cut the meaning in two. Whatever the meaning of the word you're writing is, you're just gonna, oh shit, this is unbelievable. Oh, this is truly like writing with a straight pen.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I don't have any pens that do that.
Oh,
That's
I
insane.
I don't like this. Take it away.
But I said write with it like you normally would write.
Pretend it's a normal pen. Wow, shit. It's interesting. There's some drag on it, almost. Interesting. Yeah, there's definitely some drag on it. I still feel like what it really is not a pen. It's a scalpel.
It's a scalpel.
Yeah.
So here's so that pen GoRo, I was able to, and when I draw lines, I do it very, very quickly, because if I go slow, they're thick, but if I go fast like this, and I made 125
125
within an inch with space between each line, and the space was about as thick as wide as the line I was making. So if you zoomed in, it would be line, line, line like that, except they were so it was the line thickness was 1/250th of an inch.
That's tiny. How did they? How old is the pen?
It's from 19. It's a Schaefer Triumph nib, and it's a short touchdown version with a short cap with the little tiny penguin nose.
I'm telling you, they made the finest nibs,
And
they were smooth for something
and
that
they were
fine.
also very, very smooth. If you go, Todd, go over to my desk, and if you look, there's a Schaefer ebonized pearl
All right.
underneath that drawer. Lift up that drawer of caps,
That's a lot of caps.
and you should see it there. They don't sell a small bottle. You have to buy a quart. Do you see the pen there?
The ebonized pearl.
It's skinny ebonized pearl. Maybe it's in the kidney tray. Let me just see if I can find it.
Not that, no, that's not it.
Okay.
The ebonized pearl is just with the diamond, the diamond shaped,
The what?
right? Diamond.
It's someone with the little abalone specks in it.
Yeah, it's they're like squares. Or diamonds.
Okay, look up.
It's underneath that.
That's okay. Just set that back down again. I have it somewhere.
Didn't hear anything.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
Oh well.
Go back to where you were. Go, Ro. Be right back.
Don't worry, I'm scribbling away with my bulky handwriting.
He's going to be fetching the fetching pen.
The fetching pen.
That's right. He's going to fetch the fetching pen. I'm having entirely too much fun with these pens here. What? Oh yeah, that one.
I think it's very hard not to have fun with pens. Whoever. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh no, I was saying totally. I mean, it's just funny too because they take a while to get. Sometimes they take a moment really to get into them and understand how they work.
Yep.
You know, and you really have to listen to them. You have to.
Yep. You have to pay attention to how it feels. It's very much a physical endeavor.
It's like playing a different piano. You have to.
Yep.
And now I remember where I put that pen.
I mean, it's interesting. I feel like depending on the tool you're using to express the thought, your thoughts end up coming out quite differently comparatively to, let's say, the computer if I'm using a word processor, or let's say I'm handwriting or even typewriting.
Or no thoughts at all in the case of a very flexible nib where you're just
yes.
Wow. You know, I mean, I can't even make anything that makes sense.
You just take it to where you can take it.
Right. I'm just making like whatever this is, you know. And I hate to say you were right, Pierre, but you really were about all of those observations. Like, oh yeah, if it's a really flexible nib, you're going to play with the nib. You're not going
to forget all about what you're trying to do.
Right.
So here is the scalpel, Todd. So
yeah, it's insane. You found
it.
What the hell?
It's
God.
And I don't know why it's not making a dark line. It's just probably just because I'm not using. It's because I touch myself. That's why nothing works.
But this is a great thing to show people who are like, oh, well, you know, I love Japanese fines, right? Or
Yeah.
I love Pilot's super fine
So
nibs. Blah,
these
blah, blah.
these were all pens in my fine drawer, and or I have others that are fine, but this is
fine.
This pen I bought at a pen is part of one of the $50 baggies from
that's great.
Fountain Pen Hospital. So it's missing its clip. It's one of the piston fillers that you can't fix. But this fine nib, this Eversharp fine, is really, really neat, and it's really fun to draw with this short pen.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me. The weight is all forward, and so try writing with that one.
Oh, that's neat.
Isn't it interesting? It's so forward.
Yeah.
But
you know, it's nice too. Wall nibs are great for drawing.
Yeah.
Because they're so friendly and they're friendly. It's the golden retriever of nibs. They're like, hey, how are you? They're tough and strong
Try that one,
and smooth and easy.
Mister
Mr. Trister.
Mister.
Oh yeah, Pierre. 28. I think I got 28 strokes. Around
28. Okay, well,
Well, that's not bad.
that's not bad. 28.
It sounds obscene. I got 28 strokes. What?
Depends on the context, if you ask me.
It really does. My God.
Until I finished.
I had 28 strokes. Oh my God.
I mean, if you had 20
and you're in the
strokes, you
hospital,
probably should be going to the
you're,
hospital.
You're hooked up to the machine. After 28 strokes, I need to. So
It's so
this-
precise.
this
isn't it?
pen, this is the Envoy, the Eversharp Envoy. Do you know that pen?
I do not know that. But so this is like late 1948-ish or something.
Yeah, it was after
It's-
the Skyline,
it's-
after the Symphony pen,
It's like the Crest era.
sort of. But I put a Eversharp nib in it. It needed a fine nib, and I thought, well, that nib is going to be the one that's going to go in there. It's Schaefer nib. I'm sorry, so I put a Schaefer nib in it,
Yeah, I've never even seen one of these.
Excuse me.
and I've got about 6 of them. So maybe I'll sell you one day.
Right. Maybe one day you'll be able to sacrifice it.
But the sexy part of this pen is that little line right there,
Okay.
and that stops the cap from going
Yeah,
further
that's
down.
that's
Isn't
great.
that cool?
That's super. That makes sense. And that's a gimmick that makes sense and works.
Well, it's a
Design innovation.
a design element that was needed on that pen,
Yeah.
because otherwise it would just
Keep going forever.
keep going. I don't think that there might be an inner cap on this thing somewhere.
But it's remarkable how precise these are.
Where's my inner cap?
They're so
finder?
fine that you want to do things with dental precision.
Yeah. So I think that this pen demanded a fine nib.
It's terrific.
If it was a stub nib, it wouldn't make sense in this pen. It would say, I'm wearing the wrong. It's like putting combat boots on a guy wearing a tuxedo or something.
Yeah, it's just exactly.
Let me see if I can find that Schaefer.
But it's interesting.
ebonized pearl.
You just want to make these tiny, very precise little lines with these things. They're so incredibly fine.
That's what Ted said about an accountant nib.
Mhm.
That I don't want to write words. I just want to make little tiny lines.
Yeah.
And okay,
It's amazing.
Is my
How cool.
my man purse.
And your immerse. This is great paper, though. I'm glad that the new one was good.
The new what?
The new pad. The other
It
pad.
seems to be.
Yeah.
well,
Here's hoping that they all are.
I'm going to give you a sheet of that, because there was a time when they were awful. So you write on that. So that's the new pad.
The new pad.
The new pad by Marx.
Marxist toys.
Where?
I love the fact that, I think we're 11 years different, roughly
In
age. And it's just like the ads that you saw on TV when you were a kid were just totally different from.
I'm 69.
Yeah, it's 11.
So you can do the math. Okay, where is my merce?
So much happened though during the 20th century that hasn't happened in the 21st. I mean, the difference between 1957 and 1967 is huge, But I mean, I just don't know how much of a difference there is between 2015 and 2025.
Not much, I'd say.
I mean, obviously the political climate is screwed up. That's a very different thing. That changed a lot. But
I hate when I can't find things.
I hate when you can't find things.
Pierre, they may not make this paper anymore. Wait, let me see.
I've already forgotten what it was called.
Borden and
Oh,
Riley.
bleed proof. You said it was purple, correct?
The cover was purple. Borden and Riley is the company.
It says number 234 Paris.
Okay, I found two. Yeah, I found it. Two variations of it actually.
It's what?
I found it in two variations.
Okay. They might have vellum finish and they might have a textured finish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found. Sorry,
Yep.
I found a 11 by 14, 234 Paris paper pod. It's on Amazon. 108 pound, 40 white sheets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, 108 pounds. That's heavy paper. Very heavy
Yeah.
paper.
It's when I did once upon a time illustrations or maps that I would make or whatever,
Uh-huh.
I would use that. I would like big sheets of white paper, and it's sturdy enough you could erase the pencil,
Mm-hmm.
work on it.
When when you made maps, did you make them scalable? Like, did you use like a ruler and everything, or was it just
My maps, I'll show you what one of my maps looks like. This is a map to our cabin from Minneapolis.
Uh-huh.
And my parents collected and displayed on the dining room wall of the cabin blue and white plates.
Mm-hmm.
They would go to thrift shops and buy blue and white plates. And
I have a good example.
they were all different sizes and different companies and different ages, but I decided I would make a map to the cabin that looked like one of the blue and white plates. So here's what it looks like. So
Wow.
it has the little Chinamen, with their little triangular hats.
They're
Correct.
So you see it going, the little Chinaman with his fishing pole going over the river, and he takes 494 to 94, crosses the river again, the Mississippi River, and then he goes past the train tracks.
No, just trying to get you in frame. There you go.
Past the train tracks, and then past the prison in St. Cloud, and then past Camp Ripley, which they had a tank, on the next to the highway, as a monument, and then over the river again. You have to go over the Mississippi River 3 times to get to the cabin.
Jesus.
And then you go through Brainerd, and there's their water tower, and then you take the road, and there's the cabin, and he's finally fishing off the end of the dock. And then the edge has fishing pole. And so this is not a realistic map of how to get to the cabin, but all the information you need is right here. And so that's what some of my maps look like. I have maps that let me see if I can find it to show you, because I think you'd get a kick out of it. I just have to go find it again. It was a map how to get somewhere upstate New Hampshire.
So not scalable, but
so definitely not scalable.
Kind of the wing and a prayer school of map making. Here you go. Little tiny clouds there. Little fluffy clouds. I'm taking Bob Ross lessons. I need a fro. There you go. So are you very far away from where we are?
I grew up in New York, in Long Island. I lived in the city for like over a decade. I'm now in Florida. So yeah, I'm a bit far.
Now you are, yeah.
But I probably come up north at least once in a year at minimum, usually.
Nice.
So let's see. My cousin, she's actually up in Boston with her husband. And I have to go. I want to visit them at some point. So I might be able to mosey my way over and say hello.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It'd be quite good. I think we'd have quite a bit of fun.
We definitely would.
I hate my life.
Oh,
can't.
What now?
What did you do now?
I can't walk 3 feet without tripping over something.
Oh,
So here's a map and this was a map how to get from the church. It was Trinity Church in Boston to the reception, which is on Com Avenue. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away. And so here's the map. Here's the shadow of Trinity Church is the hand of God pointing to the light. Go to the light of the reception. So that's that one.
That's actually pretty cool.
And
Follow the light.
go to the light.
Wrong light.
Yeah, it's kind of ominous, isn't it? I'm not ready.
There's no map here.
I do like this one.
City. Here's a map for Open Studios in Salem. So it's somewhat accurate, but I made it a little bit more angular than it needed to be. Here's a map of New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Where the church and the reception were and how to get and then these were locations of things that they wanted people to see.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. So people would ask for these for like their weddings and
for their weddings. They were inviting guests who've never been to this town or whatever, and
that's smart. That you kind of get a piece of artwork to take back with you that gives a memory, and that's
here's one for this was an awful job. I was doing it through a wedding planner, and they wanted all of this information about Miami. I think they actually got married at Mar-a-Lago, believe it or not, before Trump bought it. And she was from Czechoslovakia and he was from Kansas. So, and that's their names. And they, for some reason, wanted penguins to represent them and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, I did this map, including parts they needed and all the roads to get to wherever the hell they were. And the person said, the wedding planner said, well, why didn't you finish the map of Kansas? And I said, well, that's what Kansas looks. She didn't realize Kansas was a rectangle with a little bit up the top.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Why doesn't it look like Slovakia?
Oh,
so here's another one for Key West. So I sort of, you see Florida here and then the Keys coming down. So it's a bird's eye view sort of thing. Here's a map for on the sea. So this is the ocean, and this is in Florida somewhere.
Is that a Cecropia?
They wanted a moth on it or something. That was their. So I take what they asked me to do, and I'll. Here was a map for. They got married in the Rockies somewhere. Basalt. So all of my maps look a little bit different, but the one that I wanted to show you. There's a couple I wanted to show you, but I'm trying to find if I have a copy of it. Here's Los Gatos Summit Road Airport, San Francisco, outside of San Francisco. Here's a map that I made for my ex-boyfriend when his house was turning 125. So here's the invitation. Location of Sternsplatz, 10 Central Street, Methuen, Massachusetts, celebrating 125 years, Saturday at noon. Do come. Here's the map. Boston, 95. The whole
That's great.
holder for the thing is the map.
Oh, this is damn cool. Pierre, how do you think of these things?
Because I touch myself.
Note made.
Right.
No,
And you let Prager know about it.
just keep yourself, and you'll. So let me show you the one though that I was talking about here. Was
I have to admit, I admire your ability to deal with those people.
I wonder whether they got back to me. Let's see. Oh, here's another. God is gay, says a minister. So they're showing that to get their knickers all up in a twist. And yes, God is gay. God made man. If he was heterosexual, he would have made a dame.
Yeah, that's true.
He made a man that looks just like him. And then he made a woman because the man was heterosexual by mistake. He made a mistake. So he had to.
Well, I suppose the question of how they're going to go forth and multiply,
but they didn't have to. They lived in Eden. They didn't.
Everything was perfect.
They didn't know to have sex until they ate the apple.
Right.
Or whatever the fuck it was. Okay, let me find this other map I did. So this was for a friend of mine that got married in upstate New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
How do I spell my name? Pierre Gustafson.
Pierre, I feel like that's one of the things you're supposed to remember.
It's a fundamental. Like you can probably remember your phone number from 60 years ago. But...
So this is my website, and you hit enter, and you go to maps. But it was under what's new. It was under the what's new page, I think.
Also, Pierre, you always say you're not technologically savvy. You're quite savvy, if you ask me.
Yeah, I am quite savvy if I need to be. So here was a map. That's not the one I wanted to show you, though. Where is the one? Is it under maps? Where's the word map? Tattoos, house ports, life maps, maps.
No one's going to get that joke. That was a Dora reference.
Okay, so let me find... There's Stearns Plots. Okay, here it is. So it's a map that was long and skinny, and it opened from the bottom.
Uh-huh.
And the bottom frame was this. You see the curvature of the Earth?
Vaguely.
So there's Massachusetts, Connecticut.
Wait, Pierre, why don't you just post a link on... I can pull up YouTube on my laptop. Why don't you just post a link on the live stream chat?
I'll just... it's not important at this point, but just... Anyway, so there you see the bottom of the Earth. The curve of the Earth. There's sky.
Yeah. I can see it.
There's New York City, and then there's Massachusetts, and there's two roads. The bride and groom were originally from Northampton, Massachusetts, or that's where they lived at the time. And people were flying in from Wisconsin, where he's from, to Boston, or their guests were driving up from there. So there were two roads. So here you see the two cars, and you see the M and P of Hampshire, and then you keep going north. And this is really the only time you needed a map, where there were lots of roads you had to take, and the X marking the spot was there, number 32. There was a farm in the middle of the woods.
Middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. And then pointing to the X was the hand of God. Ta-da! With lightning bolts coming out. And the watch of God had the time of God where it was going to be Saturday, June 25th, MMV AD. The little arrow is pointing to AD rather than BC. So that was when you were supposed to be. Saturday, June 25th, 2005 at noon.
It's great.
So did these become less common as
you don't need them now because your phone can tell you what you're doing.
Well, yeah, and people
So-
aren't getting married either.
And people aren't getting married.
That's
And,
true.
They're not hiring
Yeah.
people like me to do their stuff because they can't afford to leave their parents' basement.
Right, exactly.
Uh,
They're sheltering in place permanently.
My nephew and his wife finally moved. They used to live in a camper
uh-huh.
or a van. They used to live in a van. She was a traveling nurse in California, and they would go wherever she was needed. They would drive and go to one place after another. They'd poop in a bucket, and sometimes they would, if they had a need to actually take a real shower, they could do it at work or wherever. But they
Mhm.
finally moved back to Minneapolis, and they just last couple days ago bought their first house together.
Oh, nice.
They had been living at his parents, my brother's house, with Sam's parents
Mhm.
for a year. When they moved back to Minneapolis, they didn't have a place to live yet, but now she has a real permanent nursing job at a hospital, and he has a job, but he goes sort of from one job to another. But right now,
Mhm.
working with
He's itinerant.
he's hired by schools to help take students on field trips. So if they go camping or if they go mountain climbing or whatever in Minnesota,
Oh, nice.
he'll be
The
a guide slash helper,
Mhm.
to get people on the canoe correctly and things like that. The things that the teachers wouldn't necessarily know how to do.
The canoe escort.
The canoe
Are the-
escort.
Are
And
those trips
he also
like Michigan? I have no idea of what.
where
schooling is
what
like there.
The
Not
field,
Michigan,
field trips, Minnesota,
Minnesota. Sorry.
where you canoe on the. I don't know. He also worked at one point with kids that had disabilities, either mental or physical,
Okay.
where he would take them out or help take them out doing
Okay.
stuff. And he said, I'm working with a bunch of students now, and they throw shit around. And he said, literally shit. They throw their feces at him, and it doesn't bother him.
He's fine with that. I'm okay with it.
He's like the most laid back person there is, and
Well, that's sweet.
he deals with. Right now his job is working with schools and sometimes maybe with students that might have special needs.
Mhm.
So it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's not a every day of the week job. He's sort of called in when needed to do
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So I don't know what sort of, I'm sure he doesn't get paid for not doing anything. So he may, in order to pay for a mortgage, it's not just his wife's salary that's going to be needed. I'm sure he has
Yeah.
to actually have a real job to pay the bills.
Yeah.
But anyway, they did get their first home. Anyway, this pen is working really nicely now. So here's the scalpel
There's a little bit of sludge when I dipped that in your bilge water.
in my bilge water.
Whatever
That's because I touch myself.
That's it. So I'm touching a piece of pier. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
It's incredible.
So
is this the dental one?
that's the scalpel
scalpel
for the infant
infant's
brain surgery.
Right. So fun. Oh my god. Thing is, if you barely write with it, it just starts fading away into nothing.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
it is
So small.
and again, Ted, was expecting it to do a lot more than this, but he just was, and he hated it.
This goes from 0.0005 to 0.0001.
So
It's amazing.
look, Goro, and anyone else listening to this, look up Ted Piergus on my channel. The playlist is called TED Talks, and he describes these pens in an amazing way. In fact, I'll just play another one right now, just for the in the background here, because it's just again how he can describe so beautifully. Here's the Black Sheep. So this is a Skyline he's working it with, I think.
This pen is characterless, except that I like it. It's, is it nerdy? No, it's not nerdy. It's totally self-sufficient. It doesn't care about anybody else. It doesn't need to. And it's sort of in a class by itself because it's so humdrum, but in its own humdrumness, it's a workhorse.
It's a nice flexible Skyline pen, goddammit. So anyway, this is what I say.
So,
Interesting.
is it our sophistication that allows us to say something as nasty about a pen like that?
It's so damning.
Well, the truth about this pen, you know what this is? This pen is the black sheep in the family that it came from. Because it grew up with grace and elegance, and you get a whisper of that in some of the ways that it handles. But basically, it's going to be an alcoholic, and it just hasn't aged enough yet to make that happen. But this pen finally becomes an alcoholic, it will do so with some grace because of the upbringing.
That's quite funny.
So anyway, listen to how he describes the other pens that I handed him one day, and it's really, really fun. I miss him a lot. He's still alive, I believe.
I hope so. You sound terribly ancient there.
He's the person that he wanted to buy a Swan Sterling overlay Sterling pen, Swan with a nib that was almost like my dip pen nibs. It's one of the 3 or 4 fountain pens I have that has that quality of snappy return. And he every time he came over, he said, can I play with your Swan again? Can I write with your Swan? So I would let him use it. It's a pen I never used because I was afraid I'd break it.
Yeah.
It sort of scared me. So at some point he'd say, I really want to buy this pen. And I said, no, it's not for sale, Ted. It's not for sale. And I got a letter in the mail from him. And it was a long piece of paper that was folded and folded and folded and folded over itself. And then I unfolded it, and it said, I don't know what else to do. And I unfolded it, and there was this little tiny folded check with my name, and he signed, and I was supposed to fill in the amount, whatever amount I wanted.
Yeah.
And I think I eventually said, okay, Ted, it's yours. It's $350 or something, whatever it was. And it was at a time when no pen collector would sell that pen probably for more than $250, $225, but it was $100 worth of nib in that pen to me.
Sure.
For that. And Rob Morrison sold me, I'll bring that to have you play with. It was a Schaefer ebonized pearl with a flexible nib. And I said, I want this. And he said, here, it's $285. And I thought the pen by itself, if it just had a regular Schaefer nib, it might have been $85. It wasn't the oversized. It was just the standard men's size pen, but it has this magnificent nib. So I was paying $200 just for that goddamn nib. And he knew he had me by the
testicles,
by the balls, and he knew that I would pay for it. And I did. And I'm afraid to use that one too. I hardly ever use it, but I'll show it to you so you can see why I'm afraid to use it. Rob also he showed me these 2 pens he bought. They were flat top, pearl and black, Schaefer Lifetime pens, except where the word Lifetime would be on the nib, it was just empty. There was no, it wasn't scratched out or anything. They just didn't put it there. Right. Long, thin tines, extremely flexible. So even they knew they couldn't guarantee this for
Yeah,
life.
and I'm glad you brought that up. I actually saw I forget what it was exactly that I was looking at, but there was a post on Reddit where somebody had it was like a 40 Schaefer with a flexible nib, and he said they're just so amazing. And see, this is why they called them lifetimes, because it was like no. It did not call them lifetimes because they had flexible nibs. It was the exact opposite.
Yes.
You know, because those were the ones that break. You know, they're delicate or relatively delicate. They're thinner. They're easier to break. You know, it's the warranty wars that happened in the 1920s with Schaefer saying, "Hey, well, you know, we'll make a pen that lasts a lifetime. We'll give it a lifetime warranty." So they had to use a really tough nib to make that a reality, so they didn't lose their shirts. You know.
I mean, that's quite ballsy from like just a business modeling perspective.
Oh yeah.
You're taking on so much liability by just saying, "Hey, so long as this nib exists, we'll cover it." You know?
Yeah, exactly. And it created a response from all the other companies. You know, so Duofold, you know, Parker with the Duofold had a 25-year warranty.
Uh huh.
You
Oh, there
break
you go.
that and you owe me $375.
No, I owe you more than that, because see the thing is you can't put a price on these. That's the thing, you know. So even at $375, that's a steal because it's one of those crazy. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but
I'm just gonna even. But it's nice.
let me break it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Go row
Oh, geez, that's absolutely stunning.
your boat. And it does have a very snappy return. I mean, pretty snappy. So
Oh, wow.
I have a lot of Schaefer lifetime nibs that are flexible because I've been doing this for 40 years. And anytime I get one, I keep it. Almost
Definitely.
anytime I get
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah.
I do have some that I did sell. One was, it was sort of like a Skyline nib, nice and rubber, and it was somewhat broad. And John Vale, who's a lefty, really liked that pen. And it was a senior Schaefer silver striped pen. And I think I charged him $150 for it. And he told someone else, you know, how much he paid for it. And they said, well, you got screwed or something. Pure charged way too much. And John said, look at the nib, right with the nib.
Exactly.
And the nib, again, was where the dollars were.
Exactly.
I'll bring a couple other Schaefer.
I was going to mention. There's one other thing that appeared. I'll have him tell it because it's so funny. But it was something that was as funny as that TED thing.
Oh, really?
You know, it was so cute. It was just really cute. It's short, but I can let the cat out of the bag maybe. But it was really cute. It was a waiter. That's right. I think Pierre was doing. He should tell the story. I'm gonna screw it up. But
We'll let him get back.
yeah, I think we'll do that. But it was very cute. Yeah, these are just so much fun. You know, it takes a minute to get to know them, you know. And once you start playing with it,
Oh my god.
you know it.
Yep. When I first got this one, I immediately was like, okay, like I'm not the biggest fan of flex nibs, just from the way I scratch things off when I'm writing. And then I used it for about a week, and then by the end of the week, I was like, okay, there's something wrong with me. I'm really enjoying this pen.
Right.
And there's something about the fact, like, just the slight variations in pressure that you tend not to notice when you nib. It's fun that plays out.
Yeah, there's a pen I bought from Mike Daigle several years ago that I wasn't crazy about the nib. It was very toothy and it had only a tiny bit of flex. I was like, what were they thinking? And I'm working with it and I'm writing. I'm like, oh, I don't like this. Ugh. You know. And then after a month of using it, I finally got it. Like
Try that one.
It's kind of like your epiphany with the 51, right? It took years, and then finally you're like, oh my god, this is great. Oh, that's delicious. Yeah.
Ooh.
Rob Morrison said something very funny about that pen. Let me see if I
Oh,
can
yeah.
find it. Where Rob and I were I was trying to remember what this pattern was called.
Right.
The Ebonized
Ebonized
Pearl.
Pearl,
We
yeah.
couldn't figure it out. Here.
Wait, Pierre, I was going to ask you this. Do you have a flexible ester book?
I do. Rob.
And you're talking about like the 40s Esterbrook, right? Not the dip pens.
I'm talking,
Yeah. The actual fountain pens, not the dip pens.
These are great. See, you know what's great? This nib
That's one.
Uh-huh.
is this beautiful. We've got double piers. It's got feedback, but it's smooth. But you can feel and hear the paper.
So-
when you can feel
Absolutely
the paper in the
wonderful
barrel.
amount of variation.
what
as
what
well.
does this say? Read the inscription.
What does that say? Yeah, I've got to find the photon. Hold on. What is it? Oh, something Townsend.
J.R. Townsend Jr. J.R. Townsend Jr.
Named Townsend.
40 weeks at the something company, and I thought they're
40
giving
weeks?
this
What?
pen for only 40 weeks.
Not
Anyway,
40 years.
this
Yeah.
is what
Townsend Jr. J.R. Townsend Jr. Mr. Townsend. And then I'm not. What's his first name? Lester.
Lester. We're
Townsend.
quoting.
I'm Lester Townsend.
We're
No, I did not take your Mercedes. I'm not doing a very good Cary Grant.
Henry,
Anyway, this was given to J.R. Townsend Jr. for 40 weeks at the something or rather life insurance company agency. So he got a oversized Schaefer pen for 40 weeks of service.
Yeah. Where's
Oh,
mine?
listen to
That's,
Rob.
that's not even a year.
I'll bet that J.R. Townsend Sr. was the owner of the business.
Just stick it out for 40 weeks. That's all I ask.
Well,
But I want to join the circus.
the other thing that I loved was you told about that waiter. You were writing something at a restaurant.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
goes,
Oh.
is that filigree?
Is that filigree?
A filigree.
And
I loved
I
it.
said yes.
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
That's
Isn't
adorable.
Isn't that a great name?
filigree? It's
So-
a lovely nib.
So here's another Schaefer flexible. Here, these are all Schaefer flexible
Yeah,
nibs.
these are great. Yeah, that's fabulous. But the thing is, it's like, that they were like, don't tell anybody we do these, all right? 'Cause, we can still make these, but we're not going to make them available for people.
I feel like it's going to turn around at some points. Magna Carta is like the first modern company to bring back flexible nibs,
Yeah,
like the flexible nibs. So I think it's going to slowly start kicking in that people want it.
maybe it's Heron.
Here's a flexible
The,
stub for you to try.
Heron basically borrowed a bunch of nibs from Mike Daigle and Scott Jones, and he studied them inside and out, and he figured out the metallurgy and everything. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Oh, nice.
And he get this. Here's the thing. Oh, that's fabulous. He for every 100 that he makes, about 9 of them work.
Yeah.
And he has to melt the rest of them down. Okay, that's what we're talking. So it's like 9% are good, and then he has to start over again. So, and they're amazing, by the way. They're really good. I mean, they feel right. And they're not even. It's interesting. They're not even available in like if you looked at the Waterman's catalog from 1925, it would blow your mind with how many nib options are there, and there are like variations on variations. So you'd get a number 2 stenographer's nib with long tines, medium, or short, which would affect how much flexibility it had. You know, and the thing is, Heron just has it's just a flex nib, but I'll be damned if it doesn't make a good hairline and get good and wide, and it's very soft. So he's definitely doing something right.
We're missing all sorts of things that people are saying, but that's unfortunate.
But that's
I wonder.
That's just too damn bad. What? Horrible. This is a great nib. Look at this thing. Wow.
Is that the stub, the flex stub, or not?
Or
is that the one you?
I think it's stubby. but it's so the thing with stubs is that they're so hard to control. But this one is just dreamy.
Yeah. I think I have. Oh, it's a fucking music nib.
That's
Jesus
why I like it
fuck.
so much.
Music.
Oh, that's retarded. It's retarded.
I knew I had a Schaefer music nib. I just
Well, no wonder I
Didn't-
like it so much.
didn't know I had it there.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, come on. It's just dreamy. I like this one a lot. So,
No, it's not for sale.
tell me,
You can write a
what would-
check and
how many
leave it blank.
how many kidneys would it take to get this pen? 3? I'll give him my 3rd kidney. Oh man, pens envy.
The I don't like music nibs normally.
That's
because
very usable.
because it can railroad on only one time.
Right, right.
It's a road with a rail next to it, like you see often, a road and a rail. See, you have to hold it exactly perfectly.
It's pretty forgiving though, or at least so far it has been for me.
I
And
can't.
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, if all you did was to make, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. 2 tines
It's got two
always work.
It's got 2 different ways that it cannot work. Right?
It's 2 different ways.
Is that
could-
filigree?
It can make a full line, or it can make a line. It could do the end of a measure, or whatever that is, right?
Oh yeah.
The repeat.
Yeah,
or,
right.
Or it could do the thick and the thin this way. 3 ways it can work. One of them is right, and the other 2 are wrong.
So where's your dental pen that cuts the
Word into that's
the
this one.
word into?
That's
So
this
like
one.
compare and contrast those 2. I mean, that's just a great comparison, right?
Well,
That
It is.
versus
I mean,
versus
yes.
the music nib. I mean,
well,
it's just,
I would again. It would be that flexible Waterman I showed you yesterday, with the big long tines that I said I had damaged.
oh
And I
right,
remember that one, because that starts out fat and gets really fat.
right.
So it worked. Had I not damaged it, that would work better than this, or wherever the music nib is.
But it's just the contrast is amazing from the
Yeah.
same people,
Yeah.
and from a really not too different in timing. It's only about 10 years, right?
Oh.
Is this one?
Here, this one. This is the long tined.
Yeah, that's lovely.
I mean, that one. I would think you wouldn't
Wow.
want.
Yeah,
I
that's-
would think that you wouldn't really want a music nib to be too flexible, because you want it to be sort of standardized notes you're making, right?
You'd think it's interesting because they are flexible.
I know they are, but
Yeah.
you'd think that you'd want them to do that only, not do that.
Right.
Because for music notation,
That's a mop.
you don't need a line to be that big. So anyway,
Well, you're doing, yeah. It's usually for parts that they did this. So. But yeah, you definitely want to have the contrast between the thin and the thick.
well, so I mean, I would think you've got the note, and then you've got the line and the flag. You're holding the pen. I would think you'd be holding the pen like this.
Yeah.
Rather than like this.
Right.
You'd make a vertical line, and then your note, or your whole note, or whatever they are, and then the flags and the side things.
If it's just an amazing contrast between that and the scalpel.
Yeah.
You think that they're from not really that different a time.
Sorry, we were
Yeah, so much.
zooming in on
ink.
my dirty water rather than what we
Right.
were doing. So,
So this is why our hands are covered in ink. Because we just keep playing with these things and keep
We,
writing.
we're
over-
almost out of time here, our battery, and
Okay.
I need to get ready for Cesar's
Of course.
visit. So I'm going to say goodbye to you, Go Row,
Bye, Pierre. I'll catch you later.
and we'll talk. And where do you live again, Go Row?
Sorry.
Right?
Where do you live?
So I'm down in Florida, but let's see. I come up north at least once a year.
You come up north, and you can stay on my couch overnight, and then you can find your own hotel room for the rest of the time we're here.
That sounds about fine with me.
Okay. Or stay at a hotel all the time if you want to spend more than a day. Because coming here, do you know Boston at all?
I've been to Boston twice in my life, both for school field trips, so not
Okay.
really.
Okay.
Pierre, I'm a Yankees fan. Got to stay away from Red Sox territory.
Well, come
dear.
when we're not playing.
Done.
And just don't wear any Yankees anything.
So here's the thing: anytime I've come to Boston, I make a point to do that. I want to get mobbed.
It's not like we will kick you in the nuts or anything.
Oh no.
Anyway, we'll see you later. Bye, Go Row.
Bye, Todd. It was
Bye,
good.
everyone else.
Good to meet
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I turn this thing off? End stream.